Hey everybody, this is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog, and that is Emily Rose behind me. We're getting ready to make our last segment of a run here together. Sort of bittersweet. We'll talk more in a second. Hey everybody, it is the 20th of November 2020. It is 1:53 in the afternoon. I am in Big Spring, Texas at the Pilot. I'm waiting for my clock to my break to finish my 10-hour break, and then we're going to run to Weatherford, Texas to meet an L1, a grad student, a level 1 grad student who is going to bobtail out there. He's going to pick up this load and run it to Ochalata, Oklahoma, and I'm going to bobtail back to the yard in Dallas. As I mentioned at the start, it's the last little leg of a trip with Emily Rose and me. I've always had this thing. I don't know how many of you are like this, but whenever I've had a car and I've gotten rid of it, or even like an apartment or a house or whatever, I know they're inanimate objects, but you get a little nostalgic. I always think you for getting me to where I need to go and get it to me safely, not having the breakdowns and that kind of stuff that, or stuff that cause you a problem. I mean, I've gone a year, I haven't had a tire blowout or anything. I mean, I do my PTI and I check my truck and everything like that, but still, anything that I've had has been relatively minor, or something that's not catastrophic, that you're driving and it's going to happen and you're going to be in trouble. But that said, Emily Rose, she's taking care of me, and I appreciate it. It is sort of bittersweet to pass her on, but hopefully whoever gets her next will take care of her. We've put almost 120,000 miles in a little over 11 months together, and she's a wonderful truck, and I hope that, like I said, whoever gets her next takes care of her, and that she's going to treat her just as good as she did me. Like I said, this is the last run for Stevens, at least for a while. I mean, I'm not, and the reason I say that is I'm not ruling out ever coming back to Stevens, because Stevens has been good for me and been good to me. I've been able to put a little bit of money away and see most of the country and enjoy my time with Stevens. I've been lucky enough, as I've mentioned before, to have two really good driver managers. Jonathan Martinez, who was my driver manager in grad, and then once I got done with grad, for a very short time I had another driver manager, and then that's when this COVID stuff started happening, and they ended up moving me back to Jonathan, even though I was in the regular fleet, and Jonathan took me back, and because he liked the way I ran and everything like that, and I really appreciate that. And Jonathan took great care of me. And even after I got my new DM, there was a point in time where my new DM, Mark Bockham, who was absolutely great as well, he came down with COVID, and Jonathan took care of me, and anytime I couldn't get a hold of Mark for one reason or another, Jonathan was always willing to take care of me. And like I said, and then I got Mark Bockham, and Mark's been great. He's always worked hard to get stuff done that I need to get done, and whenever he can, even sometimes we've been fighting an uphill battle with certain things, but Mark's great. And if I ever do come back to Stevens and Mark's still here, I'm going to absolutely request that I get him as a DM again. So I do appreciate everybody at Stevens for everything that they've done. Everybody I've talked to over the time, Lori Moore, who is in safety. She's what we call midnight run, or that's what I call midnight run. But I call her Night Ranger. Actually, they call her Midnight Run, but I call her Night Ranger because Night Ranger is one of my favorite bands ever. But anyway, 5 days out of the week, Lori's in the office except for Wednesday and Thursday evenings. And if you're running after midnight, you're supposed to call her and she'll talk to you for a little bit, make sure you're doing all right, go through stuff, make sure everything's going fine, and to make sure that you're okay to run during that peak time where a lot of accidents happen because people they're not rested or whatever. So, but I always loved calling Lori and talking for a few minutes if we could, although she was really busy a lot of times, but just getting a chance to talk, and I appreciate that. Everybody else at Stevens, I appreciate it. And it wasn't an easy decision to leave. Again, I will share where I'm going, probably in a video that I'll make on Sunday after I'm done with Stevens, and I'll talk to you about a little bit about why at that point in time, but or a little bit more about it, about my decision. That said, I think Stevens is a great company to start with. It's the only company I have experience with, but from my experience, I thought it was a great company to start with. I thought the support was really good. I thought everything was top notch as far as that, and the pay was pretty good too, especially starting out, that kind of thing. So it is what it is. Again, a little sad to leave Emily Rose. I want to thank her namesake, Emily Rose Campagno, who is former Raiderette, and if you watch Fox News, she's on Fox News. But I appreciate that, and you always name it after somebody else. You always name a truck after somebody or something, and that would just sort of fit. So I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the next chapter of my life. Still truck driving, still going over the road, and seeing a little bit of the country from a little bit of a different way. I'm going to go from running reefer to running mostly dry van, although maybe reefer every once in a while, but sorry about that, but mostly dry van, and we'll see what the difference is, and see how much see the difference between it. I'm not interested in going tanker. The company I'm going to doesn't have tanker. They do have flatbed, but I'm not interested in flatbed. I'm not going to be climbing up there, especially during the winter or the hot summers, and most of the year climbing up there and tarping and tying down and stuff like that. Just not something I want to do. Anyway, I hope everything's going well with you. I will talk to you before Thanksgiving, but hopefully you're staying safe. I know a lot of countries going back into lockdowns. I know my home state, New Mexico, is doing a 2-week lockdown. Stay safe out there. Be careful. Wear your masks. I know I'm not a fan of them either, but wear them, when you're around others. And just be safe, and we'll see how things go. So anyway, I will talk to you. I may talk to you before Sunday. May make a video tomorrow before I leave the yard, and we'll go from there. Anyway, this is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog. I'm driving for Stevens Transport. One more load this time, one more segment of this load. I'm gonna drop it off and pass it off to a young guy, and then run to the yard. And I'm psyched. I'm psyched about where I've been last year, and I'm psyched about what's coming up. You guys stay tuned, and we will talk to you soon.